Representative Matt Gaetz, along with Steve Bannon, are openly talking about unleashing the shock troops. Take a look.
People didn't like that Donald Trump raised his voice, but sometimes you got to raise your voice to raise a ruckus and to raise an army of patriots who love this country and will fight for her. And if we get more of them in Congress, then that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to operationalize the performance to go right after the people who are imposing the vaccine mandates, who are enriching themselves, and who are selling out the country.
Understand, this is a theory of governing, right? And it's fresh and it's new. This is Trumpism in power. That's why we went to the 4,000 shock troops we have to have that's going to man the government and get them ready now, right? We're going to hit the beach. You know, you have the landing teams and the beachhead teams, all that nomenclature they use when President Trump wins again in 2024 or before.
All right. So why does this sound like more of a military operation than a political one? I understand that they're talking about political. I mean, Gaetz even said, well, when we raise the army and then we put them in office. Okay, I get what you're saying, but why are you talking about shock troops and beachheads and, why are you treating this like a literal war? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, that's really weird. That shit scares people. Again, especially since we're almost a year away from January 6th, which was a literal attack on Congress. Weird phrasing and terminology, but understand this is what excites people on the right. Talking about war and talking about battles and talking about, killing the opponent or destroying them. I mean, that's all they have. It's all they have. And so, but again, under this blustering language about war, well, I mean, again, they're planning a political takeover, and so they're doing it right out in the open. In fact, here they are talking more about it. Take a look.
You're going to have those as the 4,000 political appointees on Capitol Hill. You're going to have Gaetz and others and no more Trey Gowdy's, no more powder puff derby. This is going to be hardcore accountability at every committee.
Yes, and we are going to go after this administrative state, and we're going to start at the Department of Justice and the FBI. That's the job I want. Send me over to the Judiciary Committee, and their sphincters will tighten because they've been doing a lot of corrupt things over there. The FBI and the Department of Justice have become the enforcement wing of the Democratic Party.
Is that your priority? I mean, I've argued for years now, even when I left inside the Trump administration, before at Breitbart, and then after I left. You need a commission like they had back in the night, a church committee to go through the CIA, all the national security apparatus. You would actually do it from Capitol Hill. You would say, hey, we're going to get to the bottom of the national security apparatus. We're going to get, and by the way,
I don't need a new committee. I just need a gavel, Steve.
Right. And you coming from Pensacola in your district, a super patriot. It's not that we're anti-military at all.
No.
But whatever this has devolved into, we're anti what this is, right? And this has got to stop.
Well, I mean, we are doing this to vindicate the patriotism of the people who wear the uniform and who serve our country in a variety of ways in law enforcement and really throughout our society. And those people feel betrayed by what is going on in this town.
All right, so I love the constant language about, oh yeah, no, we're gonna vindicate the people in uniform. How? Oh yeah, we're so pro police that we attacked that I supported attacking police on January 6th. Really? That seems odd. We're so in favor of the troops that we're continuously to send them. We want to continuously send them disastrous corporate war after disastrous corporate war, and then when they come back, deny them benefits. That doesn't seem to be pro-military or pro-police at all. Very, very strange. But he also says, well, there's a lot of corrupt things going on in our security apparatus. Says the guy under investigation for child trafficking. Now, look, I'm not a fan of the FBI. I'm not a fan of the CIA. I'm not a fan of the NSA. They've obviously done a ton of things wrong and have targeted the left. But now that the right wing has shown itself to be a great threat to the United States, I mean, and again, you can look at the FBI studies that talk about right-wing terrorism in this country. And by the way, all of that tends to get ignored by both parties that are in office. Again, Obama ignored a lot of the warnings about right wing, the right wing extremists in this country because, what would Fox News say? What would the right wing say? I'm so afraid. I don't want to offend them. I don't want to offend the real patriots of this country. But look, they put out these reports. And again, it's true. Right wing terrorism is incredibly dangerous in this country. Very, very prevalent. Way more than anything that the right tends to point out, like, Antifa. How many people has Antifa killed? Like 0. Wait, okay. Maybe 1, I think, compared to the, multiple people, the tens of people that right-wing domestic terrorists have killed over the past few years, or the past decades, more so than people who are, more so than the jihadis. And so, I mean, again, these people are dangerous. These people are incredibly dangerous. But they don't discuss that. They don't talk about that among the politicians in Capitol Hill. Because again, they don't want to offend Republicans, where the violence is clearly coming from their side. Nonetheless, as I said before, generally the FBI, CIA, and NSA, the National Security State, has targeted the left. The CIA has done coups in South, in the global South, in order to cement right-wing dictators and right-wing fascists. Now, in this country, when you have the fascists and the right wing that are trying to take over here, they're like, ooh, we might have created a little bit of a problem in allowing this to go on. And so, yes, that's a problem. But again, these are not people like Matt Gaetz and Steve Bannon are with the fash. And so, yes, this guy is under an investigation for child trafficking. Steve Bannon, of course, had been pardoned by Donald Trump after ripping off people of his own base over this We Build the Wall project. He's an absolute criminal and is supporting, once again, January 6th. He helped plan January 6th. He knew that it was happening. He is under investigation for that as well, and wanted both of them supported illegally reinstalling Donald Trump as president. Big problem. So it's real interesting they want to talk about patriotism and corruption and all of that when they actually ignore the real corruption. They really, really do. Again, our government is actually corrupt. It's being held hostage by big donors, corporate money, and the far right. But they see it as, if somebody's doing an investigation into me, or my crimes or my corruption, no, let's get the shock troops and take over. Now understand that the FBI, NSA, and CIA, they're already right-wing organizations. But these people are even further to the right of that, where they have gone into the fascists, and now they want to take over those institutions, and guess what they're going to aim them at? They're going to aim them at the left. They're going to aim them at regular people who are not fascist. So that's a problem. And by the way, same people now complaining about this are the ones who tried to pin Benghazi on Obama. Remember that? The nonstop Benghazi hearings? Ridiculousness, right? And they're totally fine, by the way, with Obama at that same time was droning American citizens overseas without due process. They were totally fine with that. But it's Benghazi. Hillary lied, people died, they say. Ridiculous. It's a total hypocrisy. By the way, they also mention going after the vaccine mandates. So, wait. Now, the people that are affected by the vaccine mandates are federal workers. So, for example, you got public workers, you got police, you got firefighters, etc. Those are the people that, are required to take the COVID-19 vaccine. And yet, these people, again, interact in public. They have dangerous jobs. Wouldn't it make sense to have them be vaccinated, especially if they're dealing with other members of the public and serve a vital role in the community? Again, firefighters having to go into burning buildings. Can't really do that with COVID. It's going to be kind of hard to do if you can't breathe. But no, Republicans say that, well, we support working people by making their workplaces and public areas less safe, and allowing COVID to spread among the unvaccinated who are, almost exclusively dying from COVID-19. What a disaster. Absolute disaster. Now, by the way, Steve Bannon might be correct in one thing. Republicans can, absolutely take over the midterms. Now, of course, what did concern me is he's like, oh, well, Trump could be, could take power even before 2024. Oh, not good. Yes, Trump could win in 2024. The 2022 midterms could absolutely end up leading to Republicans winning, taking over. And you know why? It's because Democrats, unfortunately, have underestimated the danger of the Republican Party. It's almost as if they have been using the right wing to have more of a check on the left. Oh, that's why we need a strong Republican Party. We need the Republican Party to get away from Trumpism because we need a strong Republican Party. And why? Why would you need a strong Republican Party if you're the opposition party? Because they want to stop the left. That's it. They want to stop the left. And not only that, but of course, they have underestimated the danger of the fascist Republican Party at this point, and have also failed to deliver fundamental positive change to the voters, which makes me very concerned for what's going to happen in the midterms and beyond. Dark days ahead. Dark days ahead.
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.